If you're watching this video, you're probably a lot like me in the way that you find Destiny 2 lacking on multiple fronts in terms of gear sets and class builds. That's essentially why I've dedicated this channel to Destiny. I want to scrape as much out of it as I can and share that game experience and knowledge with everyone else. As made clear by the nameplate in the intro, my name is Jayboy, and if by some way you accidentally stumbled across this video, then I thank you and I do hope that you enjoy this. Be sure to subscribe if, while you're watching this video, you have a desire for more Destiny 2 guide and walkthrough content and you somehow didn't find me as annoying or nasally. Anyway, on to today's topic. We're talking about the Warlock and a new gear set that I've pieced together over the past few weeks that works hand in hand with the Voidwalker class under the Attunement of Hunger build. This build is slightly more straightforward than the last, so take a seat, grab a pen, and get ready to take some notes. First things first, of course, you're going to need to have the Attunement of Hunger tree equipped. The majority of major Warlock builds center around this tree, so make sure that you have a Vortex Grenade equipped and an Empowering Rift. This tree enables multiple key abilities, the one at the top being Devour, which activates an instant regen passive. Devour is triggered by two abilities. A fully charged melee attack will do the trick, or you can consume a grenade charge by holding down whatever button or key you have your grenade mapped to, which is tied to an ability called Feed the Void. Feed the Void will also trigger the previously mentioned HP regen, so these two abilities are crucial to survival during any sort of PvE activities. Once activated, for the next 9 seconds, any kills you get will cause instant recovery and recharge grenade energy. This is about the time when you want to start seriously chucking grenades. In theory, this is easy. In reality, it can become a burden of a task. Much like the Arcstrider build, the key to Devour Warlocks lies in a delicate balance of ability cooldowns. When used at the proper situations, you can both deal and take massive amounts of damage. This is where your weapons and armor come into play. The idea behind a Devour Warlock is to keep your Devour passive active for as long as possible during combat because of its energy and HP regeneration capabilities. It's important to remember that you require weapons over the 320 threshold. They are completely worthless if they're under that line. Masterworks will make this significantly more of a seamless process too, from the orb generation perks. The weapons in this build focus on a kill clip perk combo, which increases damage to your next target provided you reloaded immediately after killing your previous target. There aren't any weapon restrictions for this gear set. For your kinetic slot, I recommend the Nightshade Pulse Rifle, though most weapons with a lightweight or rapid-fire frame will have the same effect, provided their impact stat is higher than 23. Basically, if your weapon's impact stat fills about a fourth of the bar, you'll be pushing enough damage per shot to reap the benefits. For your kinetic perks, you'll want the Red Dot 2 MOA Snapshot Sight, which gives you a boost in handling speed. Its secondary perk should be the armor-piercing rounds for the extra shield damage and the over-penetration effect for damage to multiple targets at a time. These are crucial perks for this gear set. In your energy slot, I recommend a Positive Outlook auto rifle or a stat equivalent. This gun uses a precision frame, but the kill clip perk is what you're after. This is a damage-based build, so it seems fitting to use two Vanguard weapons with nearly identical perk trees. For your energy perks, you'll want the Jolt PS Sight, which increases the weapon's range and increases its handling speed, and you'll want the armor-piercing rounds for the extra damage to shields and the over-penetration effect for extra damage to multiple targets at a single time, much like in your kinetic slot. The identical ability trees for your kinetic and energy guns are a crucial factor in this Devour Warlock build. Rampage is another good damage perk, and you could substitute it, but it only guarantees a damage boost if you successfully kill your target. And while this isn't always 100% true, weapons that have Rampage perks typically have small clips and low impact, or the RPM just isn't quite fast enough for it to really matter. As a result, a lot of this game is opinionated and based on playstyle. Rampage would work great for a Titan, but for a Warlock, I feel like kill clip is the most efficient way to go, with the exception of the heavy weapon that I'm about to suggest you equip. For your last weapon, you're going to need one of two things. You're going to need either the Perfect Paradox with a smoothbore barrel and the flared magwell perks, or you're going to need a Zephyr Dawning Sword with the jagged edge and the balanced guard perks, or another sword of equivalent stat value. Either of these will do. Personally, I lean more towards the Perfect Paradox simply because of its rampage effect and the fact that it almost always eliminates its target, which is essential in dealing with large groups of enemies and will almost always guarantee your Devour passive to be active. but an adaptive sword will also have the same damage dealing effect. This gear build does not require the exotic helm Eye of Another World, but it is strongly recommended as it keeps your ability energy charging 10% faster. This is another crucial factor into Devour building and damage dealing. In terms of armor, any pieces you decide on will not affect ability builds, though I recommend your resilience at a 5 and your recovery at a 9 for optimal performance. You'll want to make use of 2 legendary Void Ordnance mods and 3 legendary Void Melee mods for the increased recharge time on top of the additional 10% you receive from the Eye of Another World. To demonstrate how this gear build functions, take a look at some of this footage here. Once you consume a grenade or get a charged melee kill, that's when everything starts to get real. You have 9 seconds to cause as much damage as you possibly can with the idea of resetting the Devour counter. A single kill will reset the counter back down to 9 seconds, and it charges your ability energy in the process. Every 5 kills, you'll have a fully charged grenade, and with the help of 3 legendary Void Melee mods, this will greatly increase your melee charge time, giving you more ways to keep the Devour effect from going into cooldown, thus keeping your HP regeneration going full with every kill, and your energy recharge at its most optimal speed, ultimately resulting in a quick charging damage dealer that generates orbs on multi-kills. So basically, this will turn you into a space wizard, and to my knowledge, I don't think it's possible to be any cooler than that. I have tested this gear set in the Crucible, and while it does prove effective, it is significantly more potent in PvE activities as there are more targets to choose from and less of a chance of getting plastered. In the Crucible, you can make a few minor adjustments to the gear build and it will still be relatively successful. Removing the Vortex Grenade and swapping it for an Axion Bolt will drastically improve your damage dealing capabilities because of the homing projectiles. You could also swap it for a Scatter Grenade for a similar effect that deals slightly less damage but sends out more homing projectiles. It would also be wise to swap from Empowering Rift to Healing Rift if you plan on taking this build into PvP, simply to prioritize recovery over damage output, because you can't really kill anything if you're dead, according to Lord Shax. With that, I wish you happy playing, and I hope you will make use of this gear set and tweak it, making it better than I ever could. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and as I said at the very beginning, if you feel the desire to subscribe based on what you saw or something dumb like you think the sound of my voice is just stupid and you want to laugh at me with your friends later, then please by all means feel free to subscribe, comment, like, or share. All of those things previously mentioned mean the world to small channels like mine. They provide us with a huge boost of motivation and channel momentum, resulting in me pushing the channel further and further with each new video, and they are always greatly appreciated in every way possible. I post new Destiny 2 videos as often as I am able, though having a full-time job drastically slows that process down. I do hope everyone understands. Other than that, that pretty much wraps everything up, and you just got through an entire Jayboy gaming video, which I can imagine was probably painful and just absolutely terrible. I am so sorry you had to watch this entire. You know what? I'm just gonna roll the credits. Whatever. Just roll the credits.